bit of beef between them two, especially after a few comments from Rios about Ortiz about his background story in the build up to the Mayweather fight, saying it was a load of rubbish, and so that would be a very interesting fight. Ortiz, he's a great boxer, but he loves to fight. He's a lot like Amir Khan, so that'd be a great fight there. And I've gone on to talking about Rios, haven't I now? I was actually talking about Garcia. So yeah, Garcia against Ortiz would be a great fight as well. You know, Ortiz likes a fight. Danny Garcia's got a great left hook. Ortiz hasn't really proved himself to be a warrior at taking shots. We'd have to see who would take that shot, a left hook. And then this fight's Berto as well. Berto with Ortiz going in a bit of a war. Has been stung by shots in the past. Luis Calazo stung him. Again, that'd be a very interesting fight. The name of Pearson's a massive bloke as well, so it wouldn't be too surprised if he moves up in weight. So for Danny Garcia, there's loads of fights out there. You look at light welterweight, great divisions right now. Light middleweight's almost on the same level as well. You got Trout, Cotto fighting, you got Alvarez up there. Erislandy Lara, if he beats Martirosa, which I expect, he'll be fighting Alvarez. That could be a great fight. You know, unfortunately we don't have Paul Williams due to his injury. We wish him all the best and hope he really recovers from that. Because we miss that. We miss a Paul Williams, don't we, in there? Some great fights he had, and those three divisions are really great. And then middleweight, so that was kind of four divisions, and lightweight's a great division, so almost in 5 divisions are just jam-packed full of talent, and each of them can move about. Like middleweight can move to middleweight, welterweight can move to light middleweight, you've got light welterweights moving to welterweight, lightweights jumping to welterweight in some cases. So wherever you look at it, there's some great fights out there, and Danny Garcia is pretty much jam-packed in the middle, especially if he moves to welterweight. So he's pretty much in the middle of all them fights, which would be great for us as fans. Every single fight Garcia is going to be, he's probably going to lose soon enough. I think Mafise could be the end of his unbeaten run, but any fight he's in is always going to be dangerous because of that left hook. Apart from that, he looks ordinary, but he's got some dynamite in that shot, and everybody so far, last 3 opponents have fell to it. Although Morales survived, left hook got knocked down by, knocked out Amir Khan ultimately with that left hook, and knocked out again Morales with that left hook. So as long as he's got that left hook, he's always going to be in a great fight. And finally, I'd like to talk about the return of Daniel Jacobs. What a great fight, you know, returning from cancer. It's a miracle in itself for him to survive it and walk again after what he had. The tumour on his spine, it was, one more I read, he was days away from death, and it's a great recovery. And they told him he'd never box again. A year later he's back in the ring. It's the greatest, probably one of the greatest recoveries in boxing history, really, and people will remember this. You know, that moment, Danny Jacobs returned to the ring, and it was a great moment. You know, he proved himself. You know, any boxer that gets in the ring, you know, has guts. They're pretty much inspiration to a lot of people. He's an inspiration to a lot more people across the world. He's pretty much showing people that no matter what you have, what diseases you have, it's like kind of like the Paralympics. The Paralympics show people who have disabilities, lost limbs, etc., that they can compete in sports, they can make a living, an enjoyable living out of themselves and their lives. Danny Garcia has shown that now, not just to cancer victims, that you can recover from it, you know. It is still possible. It's shown a lot of people across the world, you know, no matter what you got wrong with you, and the doctor tells you can't do this, can't do that, that won't be possible. It is. surely given a lot of confidence to someone like Paul Williams. He's obviously been told he'll never be able to box again. He's convinced. They've told him he's probably not going to be able to walk again. But he's going to try and prove as well, just like Danny Jacobs did, that he can walk again. Danny Jacobs was told he'll never box again, and there he is boxing, and I think it'd be great. Nobody would begrudge him if he was to become a world champion in the future. He's one fighter apart, probably up there. If he was against a British fighter, I think I'd have to support Danny Jacobs, because I think he really is something special what he's done. There's champions out there who can beat Daniel Gill, the WBA and IBF title. I think in the future Daniel Gill's still champion. I think if he steps up his opposition, he probably won't be. He could beat him. Obviously Martin is a champion at the moment, and Peter Quillin. It's a long road at the moment for Jacob, so saying they're champions now as fighters are going to be fighting, I doubt that's going to happen. But in returning to boxing, I say he's an achievement in itself, so if he goes on now and fulfills that potential he had at the beginning of his career, you know, it'll be something special and something to remember in boxing. It'll be something that we talked about. So it was great to see Jacobs back in the ring, and we can't wait really to see more of him back in the ring and fighting again. It was a great knockout as well. Return to the ring, you know, people were saying, you know, return to the ring, just get the win, and there he is knocking him out in one round. So I think Jacobs is back. Oh, and that's all for this week, or for this talk about boxing. That's all I've got to talk about. Unfortunately this weekend not too many big fights is there really, so unfortunately not much to talk about on previews this weekend. Boxing's back in November, some massive fights for the rest of the year. Broner, DeMarco, I can't remember them all. Trout Cotto is one. Return of Amir Khan. There's lots more fighting personally. You know, I can't remember them all. Marquez, Pacquiao. There's a lot. There's Marino against Mares. Another great fight. I can't remember them all, but there's lots of fights in November to look forward to. And if you enjoyed this, I don't know when I'll be making a video. It could be any time really. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, or just when I get time, when I've got something to talk about. So thank you for listening. Thank you.